Raider Nation, what's going on? You're watching the Raiders Report here. It's Mitchell Renz and it's Chuck the Pup. And we're going to be breaking down our 2023 starters for both the offensive and the defensive side of the football coming up here on today's show. Now, I know that a lot of times starters get a lot of the concentration, if you will. But one of the things that I think gets passed up a lot is, sure, you can start, but for me personally, I always look at which players finish the game. So we're going to do starters, but I'm also going to talk about the players that essentially I believe end up getting the most snaps on offense and defense. So the top 11 players and then the top 11 players. If you haven't already, click that subscribe button, turn on those notifications. That way, every single time we drop a Raiders video here on the Raiders Report, you get an update. Since I was getting my Raiders tattoo on Thursday and Friday, I didn't have time like I usually do to make you guys all the extra videos. So yesterday I made a video from home. Today I'm making a video from home. And tomorrow, since I'm off, I'm also going to be making a video home, which hopefully y'all don't mind. I know Chuck was having a good time until we had to go up here on making this video. So we'll start with the offense, and then I'll transition into the defensive side of the football. So at first, the quarterback, it's Jimmy Garoppolo. There's really no surprises there. I am also going to be breaking down all of these positions of why I think certain guys are going to be where they are, and this is really only for the Week 1 game up against the Denver Broncos. Coming in here at running back, it's Josh Jacobs, and there's been some speculation of how much work the star running back would end up getting in Week 1. To me, I believe he's going to be somewhere around 17 to 20 total touches. He's probably going to have a few receptions. He's going to have a few carries, but we also got to be able to face the fact that this coaching staff, they're going to use Brandon Bolden. They're going to use Amir Abdullah, and they're going to use Zamir White because they have seen those players a lot more than what they've seen Jacobs. I will say I have heard from reports, I have heard from Raiders players that Jacobs looks like he is ready to rock and roll, and he looks just as good as he did last season. He's motivated. He's in another contract year, and I'm really excited to see what the Raiders star running back is able to do this season. So how about this? Because for those that don't know, Josh Jacobs is the Denver Broncos' daddy. So let me know down in the comment section. Give me your best projection of what you think Josh Jacobs' stat line is going to be this upcoming week against the Broncos. Let's now go to the wide receiver room, and we're going to do the top 3 wide receivers. On the outside, the wide receiver 2, and then in the slot. No big surprises here. It's going to be Davante Adams. It's going to be Jakobi Meyers. I had a lot of people yesterday reach out to me because I said I talked to a Raiders player, and I don't want to use the word throw him under the bus, but he told me, hey, man, don't tell anybody about my injury. You can hint that there's a starter that's hurt, but that's about it. And a lot of people are like, oh, so it's Hunter Renfrow, right? It's not Hunter Renfrow. It's not the player that I was talking about. Has he been battling some minor injuries this recent weeks? Yes, it is. However, I'm still going to be planning on him being the next top starting slot receiver. He's going to get more work than Trey Tucker. He's going to get more work than DeAndre Carter. But those are going to be your top 3 wide receivers going into the week against the Broncos. At tight end, I know a lot of people probably think it's Michael Mayer. It's going to be Austin Hooper. And the reason why they're going to roll with Hooper early on is because of his ability to just block. He is light years better of a blocker right now than Mayer. And I'm hoping that Mayer can learn that a little bit. People thought I was crazy when I said that the transition from college to NFL, it's difficult on these young tight ends. And a lot of the reason is the blocking element. And you're seeing that early on here for Mayer. They're going to use him in the red zone. They're going to use him in certain situations. But I think at the end of the day, Hooper gets the start, and he ends up getting more snaps than Mayer in Week 1 against Denver. Let's now go to the offensive line here. Kolton Miller starting at left tackle. Dylan Parham's going to start at left guard. I know Parham left the first preseason game against the Niners with a concussion and haven't seen much of him since in terms of a lot of the, we'll call it practice reports and whatnot. He has been practicing, at least he did most recently. They just wanted to take it easy with him, and that's usually what happens when you get a starter. He gets banged up in the preseason. Let's pump the brakes. Let's make sure he's ready for Week 1 against the Denver. But Parham, from what I understand, is going to be more than okay to start at left guard. At center, it's going to be Andre James. At right guard, it's going to be Greg Van-Roten. when the Raiders signed Greg Van-Roten, I came up here on this show and I said that's going to be your starting right guard. I know there was some speculation around Netane Moody. I know the beat reporters were telling you it was Alex Bars. But I can say that honestly, for people who watch the show a lot in the offseason, will know that I've been saying it's Greg Van-Roten, and it's Greg Van-Roten. And then starting at right tackle is Jermaine Eluemunor. Jermaine is battling something minor right now as it stands, so from what I understand, he's going to be okay. He should be ready to go week 1, but Jermaine Eluemunor, if he's unable to go, it's going to be Thayer Munford. But as it stands right now, Jermaine Eluemunor will be the Raiders' starting right tackle. If you guys are doing anything today, I saw Graphic Raider just tweet out that he's going to be live on his channel, and it's probably going to be in 30 minutes from now that I'm recording. But I'm going to pop on there with Wasted. I'm going to pop on there with Graph. We'll chop it up here a little bit. And he messaged me and said that they might try to do some over-unders for the season. Maybe it's over-unders for week 1. I'm not 100% sure. But if you want more live content, go check out Wasted Talent on YouTube. And go check out Oak Las Vegas Network as well on YouTube. Or I'm sure you can just search Graphic Raider. I'll be over there. Those guys make awesome Raiders content on top of that. All right, so now I'll go to the defensive side of the football. And we'll start here with the top 2 defensive ends, Maxx Crosby and Chandler Jones. I'm going to bet that Chandler's going to get more snaps than Tyree Wilson. Yes, you saw Wilson in that final preseason game, and I was excited. I think we were all excited. But I do think they're going to roll with Chandler. He was able to practice the last time the Raiders practiced, which I believe now is Thursday at this point. So that tells me that he's ramping up in the right direction. But when it all comes said and done in terms of snaps, I do believe Chandler Jones has more than Tyree Wilson. So how about this? Let me know down in the comments which player you think ends up having more snaps week 1 against the Broncos. Is it going to be Chandler Jones or is it going to be Tyree Wilson? I'm curious to see what you guys have down in the comments. I personally will go with Chandler Jones. Let's now go to the defensive tackles. It's going to be Bilal Nichols, which is the obvious one. And then I think they're also going to roll with Jerry Tillery. But Tillery's a tough one to be able to wrap my mind around. And the only reason why I say that is because Tillery's bad against the run, is a better in terms of being able to get after the quarterback. And I know last season the Raiders had a lot of success, mainly Maxx Crosby, but he had 3 sacks against Russell Wilson in 1 game. That's because the right guard or right tackle was a joke. Anyway, though, Tillery, I'm hoping that this organization understands that, hey, if you want to rattle Russell Wilson, who right now does not have a lot of wide receivers, at least healthy wide receivers, you got to be able to get after them. Are they going to try to run the football? Yeah, they are. But they're also missing some of their top backs. And yeah, Javonte Williams is healthy, but how healthy is he actually? So to me, I believe they're going to put in Jerry Tillery, but you're going to see a very heavy rotation at defensive tackle this upcoming week for Patrick Graham. Let's now go to the linebacker position here. I'm only going to put 2 because I think that there's a clear-cut 2 starting linebackers. Robert Spillane, Divine Diablo. Divine Diablo is going to be wearing the green dot. And then Spillane, they gave him the captain status for a reason. At corner, your outside starting corner is going to be Marcus Peters and Jacorian Bennett. The rookie changed his number to 0. I know he was battling some injuries over the past 2 weeks. He's okay. He's fine. He's just ramping up. They wanted to make sure he was healthy for week 1 against Denver. And then starting in the slot, in the nickel, if you will, it's going to be Nate Hobbs. Then at free safety and then at strong safety. Free safety is going to be Trevon Merrick. Strong safety is going to be Marcus Epps. No real surprises in the Raiders starting overall team on offense and defense from a snap standpoint. Again, this is not set in stone. This is simply my projection for the starters going into this game. But I've had enough people ask me because the football jitters are back, right? Like, shit, it's crazy to think. A week from now, we're going to be getting ready to go live on the Raiders Report for Raiders against Denver Broncos. I can't wait, man. Football season is almost here. It was so fun watching college football yesterday, and I just could not be more excited for the NFL season. Also, my fiance Alex, she just started working for Rain. If you guys get an opportunity, I know a lot of people out there probably see Rain or have seen this company and think more of a monster. Well, they just launched this brand new one. It's called Rain Storm. If you like Celsius, you're going to like Rain even more. The grape is good. The best one is the peach. So if you're like, oh, shit, I like Celsius, this stuff blows Celsius out of the freaking water. And, I don't know, Rain, Raiders, Sounds kind of better to me anyway. So all I ask you to do is if you see it in a store and you're like, you need some extra energy drinks or something like that, go check it out. I believe you'd really, really like it. That's all the time I got for you guys today. Remember, I'm going to be doing more videos later on here in a little bit with Graphic and Wasted, so please don't be afraid. Go over to their channel, subscribe, and please check it out. For more Raiders videos here, don't worry, I got you covered. Click that subscribe button. We've dropped a video on this channel every single day for over 3 years, and I think that's a pretty freaking cool thing. If you want even more videos, you can click this bad boy, and then if you're looking for even more content, you can click this bad boy right here. I'm going to go play with Chuck because obviously nobody gives him any attention.